Conor McGregor's suspension just exposed a dark truth about steroids. So, didn't know Conor McGregor was on steroids. Am I surprised? No, I feel like everyone's on steroids at this point. You know what I'm saying? But we all saw him, you know, historically just get into a fight. 92% of people thought he was going to win, and then he goes for one singular kick and blows out his knee. No, I don't know how it happened. But apparently he's having a suspension, and it was nefarious things that caused this to happen. You know what I mean? So let's get into this video. This video is by Coach Carlton. So you guys lock in with Coach Carlton if you guys want to, you know, learn a little bit more about steroids. I feel like most of his videos be about steroids and things of that nature. But he also makes videos about, like, you know, I think just like workout-based things. You know what I'm saying? Or people, really. It's mostly steroids. I don't know. Maybe that's all I see because I have a problem with seeing people on steroids and, you know, watching, judging, shit. I have a problem. Anyway, let's get into the video.
A lot of what happened with specifically Conor is really odd, but the fact of the matter is he was very likely using the sauce for about 2 years. Absolutely no shot, bro. You can't take steroids to recover your leg and then just bounce back in to the competing body. Not gonna happen, for obvious reasons.
Disclaimer, this video is educational and informative in nature. Do not contact anyone shown in this video. Also, this video is discussing steroids.
Do not use steroids.
This is entirely for educational and entertainment purposes only.
This is probably one of the most lackluster fights I have ever seen, and it was so hype.
That's like, is steroids like peptide? Bro, to this day, I still don't know what a peptide is, bro. You feel me? I just know they got peptides for different things. So do people, like, take, like, is he pumping steroids in order to fix his knee, or was he using, like, peptides? You know what I'm saying? A little quick little peptide, don't know, you know what I'm saying?
So immensely hyped up to just fumble on its own face in like 30 seconds. Drake even felt so confident as to put $1 million of his sponsor's money, of course probably not his, on the line, and lost it all. But he wasn't the only one. The majority of people that watched this fight bet on him, on Conor, winning with several different gambling platforms. And this actually is going to tie into what we have to talk about closer to the end of this video, because there's some scheming being done. And a lot of what happened with specifically Conor is really odd, of which we'll kind of get into later, especially about his performance-enhancing steroid usage. But first thing here is important to understand. Conor was seen just before the fight already struggling, but he also claims that his knee blew within the first kick. But you can see him literally just before getting on stage, fumbling already. And there's also a video of him 4 days before the fight walking into what looks like to be a hospital.
Newport Pain Management. Avocado. Hospital. Pain management. He could have been in there just getting therapy and doing an ice bath and shit like that. That doesn't look like a hospital. Pain management, though, I mean, type shit.
And I would imagine that while going to the hospital is not a bad thing, doing it 4 days before your fight, while you coincidentally also blew out.
He really just walked like that. He really just walked like that. Like, he's going into the hospital, into the pain management section, walking like this. He really walked like that. Maybe that's why his knee fucked up. He need to walk regularly, bro. Walk straight, you know what I'm saying? Type shit.
Your knee, those two things aren't just happenstance. They're probably pretty directly correlated. So take a deep dive with me here. Sit down, enjoy a meal, gather around, folks. We're going to talk about some lore that I think is super important. I haven't actually seen anybody talk about relating to this exact matter. So if we go back 5 years, which, holy I'm getting old, man. Conor snapped his leg in a fight. It was a brutal situation, and usually that injury is career-ending. Like, you're done at that point. However, Conor took things into his own hands and immediately hired an extremely renowned doctor in the space. This is where it gets really important to pay attention to names, just this one specifically. Dr. Neil Elatrati.
Is this Conor McGregor's first fight out of like 5 years? I didn't know that. I know I remember seeing him in a movie, and I was like, why you ain't like fighting niggas? You know what I'm saying? I think I saw him box too, or something, and then he like retired after he boxed, maybe because he didn't want to fuck up his leg type shit. I guess that makes sense. He didn't want his shit to, you know what I'm saying?
I believe, look guys, you know I suck at pronouncing names, so that's the best I got. We're gonna call him Dr. Neil. He's the surgeon for the LA Dodgers, the LA Rams, and basically anyone with a name in athletics goes to him for treatments with significant injuries just like Conor's. Directly after his surgery, after Conor's, things changed quickly. If you remember, this was around the time that a lot of people started coming out with videos talking about whether Conor was natty or not at this point. Because, theoretically speaking, you would think that after a massive injury and a massive surgery, you probably wouldn't get super bulked up, right? You probably wouldn't just start putting on 20 to 30 pounds of muscle spontaneously as if it was like serendipitously happening to you after you've just...
And putting on 30 pounds of muscle is fucking hard. That shit is difficult. I put on 30 pounds of muscle over the course of the last fucking 5 years. Oh, wait. That shit was 5 years ago. Maybe he natural, but he's saying like he put it on very quick. Like putting on 30 pounds like in the span of like even 1 year sounds crazy to me. Sounds very like outlandish. But I guess, you know, dirty bulk, fuck it, we ball.
Went through one of the most major reconstructive surgeries that's possible for an athlete like yourself. You can compare his lean and relatively lightweight form to the current, at this point in time, round face, bigger physique, overall beast of a transformation. He started looking drastically bigger, almost bodybuilder-like, especially in the face. And this doesn't look like what you'd expect somebody going through basic physical therapy to look like. The dude broke his leg and came out the doors looking like a guy blasting gear. That's it. That's quite frankly what looks like is happening here. Now, around this time, like I said, Derek More Plates, More Dates did make a video. Motherfucking unk status at this point, bro.
His legs are strong as shit. Like, I can't get my legs to grow that big for the life of me. Am I training hard enough? Probably the fuck not. But I can't get my legs to get this fucking big. That's crazy. Yeah, he's on steroids. That's what I'm fucking going with. Anytime I see a motherfucker too big, you're on steroids, bro. Fuck all that. You know what I'm saying? Oh, let me see your leg. Oh, your leg's big as shit, bro. You're on fucking roids, bro. No way.
Holy shit. And in his video, he began to describe what he believed is happening with the sudden jump in weight and how Conor is looking now, or was looking. And his thesis was that basically he was taking gear, steroids. He was on the sauce. It's the only reason that he would have such a big moon face and his physique would be drastically improved. And the speculation at the time turned out to be actually true. Just last month, the New York Times dropped an article explaining how Conor was taking several performance-enhancing compounds, banned substances, while rehabbing. I say, quote, rehabbing here, because I don't think you need all this for rehabbing. I'll be completely honest. New York Times not only got the information from people with direct knowledge of his protocols, but series of lab tests that were done in 2021, and they continued to dig. Well, it turns out that Dr. Neal, wrote a letter supporting Conor's application for what is called a TUE, a therapeutic use exemption, which is official permission given and granted by the main competing body, in this case the UFC, to take these drugs for healing purposes, or in some cases, medical reasons. A good example of this is like actual clinical asthma. You could take a bronchodilator for that. While it is a performance-enhancing compound, the person needs it to really stay alive. Now, Conor's was a bit different. It was clear that his was surrounding steroids, hormonal aid.
All these niggas running around with asthma, nigga, lock in. Y'all got this performance enhancing shit, and y'all niggas ain't locking it in? Step up your game, brother. Step up your game. If not, nigga, move aside. Give me the inhaler, nigga. I'm trying to lock in right quick. Nigga, just tired. Pass me the inhaler and turn up on this motherfucker, you know what I'm saying?
That were not testosterone derivatives, and likely other compounds alongside of that. I would imagine probably growth hormone and other various peptides, all of which are considered and classified as performance-enhancing drugs by WADA. Well, USADA looked at this therapeutic use exemption and immediately denied it. They said, absolutely no shot, bro. You can't take steroids to recover your leg and then just bounce back in to the competing body. Not gonna happen, for obvious reasons. And at that point in time, no one had ever been approved for use of compounds like this for therapeutic reasons. And then, funny enough, and I'm paraphrasing a lot of this here, but Conor then steps out of the testing pool entirely for an extremely long time. He came back in 2023, October 2023, but he also then immediately got pulled out again because he failed to present for any testing. And this all happening is actually what led to the UFC splitting ways with USADA, because USADA didn't want Conor coming back in October without waiting their mandatory full 6-month period for testing, which makes sense. Essentially, the regulatory body goes, if you jump back into the pool, you need to wait 6 months and undergo testing during that 6-month time period to ensure that you haven't been using substances. What the UFC wanted, because Conor's their big money maker, was for Conor to just get straight back into fighting with no 6-month waiting period, which would have obviously benefited Conor, especially if he was using performance-enhancing compounds prior to entering the testing pool again. However, once he gets back in, he catches a ban for 18 months in the UFC because he missed 3 tests. And during that entire time, he never reported his whereabouts. Now, to give you some idea here of what I'm talking about, the program that they use, or specific...
That's probably why that doctor's so fucking good. Well, not so fucking good, but that's probably why that doctor is like the top doctor and shit, because he's over here getting motherfuckers to use steroids as motherfucking enhance or as like therapeutic purposes. Yeah, let's put this motherfucker on testosterone because, you know, his leg hurts a little bit. We're just trying to get that shit pumped back up. Can you allow my dog to take testosterone so he can get his leg back together? Because his leg just ain't right, you know what I'm saying? That's probably what that nigga doing, bro. That motherfucker doing. He got some shady shit going on. There's a lot of good doctors. Why the fuck you need this doctor? You know what I'm saying? Unhealthy suspicion that something's going on there. You know what I'm saying?
USADA uses is randomized testing. So you have to report your whereabouts whenever you go somewhere because you could be tested at literally any point in time. It's by design, and that's how it should be to be sure somebody isn't using substances when they know that they won't be tested. However, Conor, suspiciously so, didn't do this and got an 18-month ban, which when you piece this all together, it doesn't become hard to think to yourself, yeah, he was probably using some sauce, right? Like he got declined therapeutic use for steroidal compounds, then dropped out of the testing pool, then failed to report his location and got banned for another 18 months. All of that time could have been used on something. And this just ended. His ban just ended in March of 2026, just before this fight. So why do I bring all this up? How is it relevant to Conor's knee blowing out in this fight? Well, sometimes using a tool may be a good idea. It might seem like a really good idea, but it may actually not be the right tool for the right job. Let me explain, because it's a bit confusing. So if you take steroids, it's well known that muscle development and strength adaptation greatly outpaces tendon adaptation due to tendons being poorly vascularized and collagen turnover being relatively slower in these areas. Now keep this in mind, there's a lot to unpack here, but mechanistically speaking, steroids not only do that, they do disrupt collagen cross-linking, meaning generally weaker tendon architecture. Then you have matrix metalloproteinase downregulation. It's a mouth. You don't need to remember it, okay? It's just, it impairs remodeling of tendons and ligaments further. And then one thing that's really, really important to understand, because a lot of people harp on how, you know, steroidal compounds, especially synthetic variants of testosterone, 19-nortestosterone or dihydrotestosterone, are going to enhance tendon and ligament. They improve collagen synthesis globally, so you just get a flat line benefit, no downside. But that's just...
I didn't know your tendons was collagen. I'm not gonna lie. Hey, we learning something new, bit all. You feel me? Y'all probably knew this. Maybe. Probably the fuck not. You know what I'm saying? Don't come in the comments acting like y'all knew this shit. Y'all did not know this shit. You feel me? You did not know collagen helps with your tendons. You feel me? I got some collagen inside of my drawer. I tried to dry scoop that shit one time. I ain't never tried that shit ever again. That shit was so fucking nasty, boy. I was like, what the fuck is this? You know what I'm saying? I'm about to start taking some collagen. Fuck it, we ball. Because I still got, like, I remember when I first started working out hard right here on my elbow, like this little tendon right here. I think I was going too hard on my triceps, and my shit started hurting. My shit was hurt for like 2 years, nigga. 2 years. Cause look, that's how you get this right there. Boom. Damn, my shit just I just cracked the fuck out of my shit. Y'all heard that shit. That shit was right by the mic and everything, bruh. I know damn well y'all heard my shit just crickety crack. Fuck, bro. Anyway, man, look at the muscles. Stop playing with them. Yeah, that's how you get them muscles. Y'all don't got this shit right here. You know what I'm saying? Y'all be acting like y'all be in the gym. Y'all don't got this back one right here. Y'all may got this front one. Y'all don't got the back one. Stop playing with them. Type shit. Yeah, so I might need me some collagen type shit because my shit's still kind of a little achy breaky at times. You feel me? You hurt my fucking shit. Damn.
It's not true. Steroids in humans have been shown to reduce tendon elasticity significantly. Now keep that in mind, because this is an extrapolation of rat data to some degree, but there's also human data here. And it is sparse, and we do lack a lot of anabolic research, which is another reason why I actually think a lot of these things should just be officially deregulated, because it would open up the doors for really progressive research on what these compounds actually do, because there is really little research, to be honest. And in the reality of today's world, like, they're in this pseudo gray area where you are using them illegally. Like, they're not legal to be used in America, but people are still using them and really facing no repercussions. And then in all the surrounding countries, it's completely legal to use these things and even to purchase them.
If it's completely legal to use them and purchase them in other countries, wouldn't they be the ones doing all the testing, and we should know if them shits work because of the testing? And then shouldn't you be able to buy them from reputable places and other places, and then use the black market and shit and bring it down here? So people should be getting good shit. You know what I'm saying? Is that how that shit works? Probably the fuck not. You feel me? I'm just speculating here. I'm just speculating.
Personal use. So it just doesn't make sense. It limits research and development and all these other things. But studies with nandrolone and exercise in animal models, this is one animal model study, but I thought it was really interesting, did show that there was collagen fibril dysplasia or disassociated fibrils, and that is a big problem when you're trying to think about integrity of your joints. And it was even particularly worsened by exercise in concurrent use with the AAS. What they also confirmed in this testing was that the rats who used...
That's why these niggas be doing, that's why niggas be benching and shit, and they'll peck just will fucking fall off their fucking chest, bro. They'll just be benching, and you see their pec just shit its pants. Could be very possible. I always had a fear of that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, damn, I'm going too hard and my shit just fucking snap off. My shit just fall off the bone. You feel me? Tendernism in this bitch. But I guess that's probably for the steroid niggas. You know what I'm saying? They should just, they muscles too strong for the tendons and they just rip that shit right off the tendons type shit. You know what I mean?
AAS had suffered from stiffer tendons that often failed. So even if maximal force was increased and their capacity to train was increased, their ability to be flexible and maneuverable greatly decreased. I wanted to take a moment out of today's video and talk about one of our sponsors, me.
That's like seeing when you see Larry Wheels running. Oh my goodness. That Larry Wheels run is crazy. That shit, I gotta show y'all that shit. I gotta show y'all that motherfucking Larry Wheels run. Larry Wheels running. Oh. Bro. That motherfucking Larry Wheels run. Blah. That shit. Let me see. They trying to take good pics of it, bruh. This is the best one though. They're like, this is how it looks. It looked like his knees were about to pop out of place in that motherfucker. Boy. See, that boy was looking crazy. Let me see if I get it. Look at that nigga run. Hell no. That's them motherfucking tendons, boy. That boy lost that motherfucking mobility. I wonder if Ashton Hall, if that nigga be taking steroids, cause he kind of big and he do got that pec that looked like it ripped a little bit out off the tendon type shit. You know what I'm saying?
I talk about performance and safety a lot on this channel, obviously. And if your hormones are in the shitter or your health is deteriorated, there is no concept you're aware of that is related to performance. That's why I made our clinic on wellness. This is a hormone clinic that I own and run. And I built it because I was
type shit. Y'all fuck with bro shit, bro. Damn, that was a big little ad right there, huh?
medication shipped directly to your door. Now back to today's video. Now all this is really important because people conventionally think that, again, steroids are going to improve collagen synthesis and the quality of one's ability, but it's not a systemic effect that benefits all things. You know, it's like in RuneScape, I can't expect to take, let's just generalize this as much as possible. I can't expect to take a specific potion that's going to uniquely benefit me systemically. There may be one for a specific skill and the acquisition of improving that skill, but it won't essentially downstream affect all my other skills and improve them globally as well. There's even case reports showing this happening often. For instance, there was one done in a weightlift.
That's like if someone said, bro, what if you could pick a superpower, what superpower would you pick? And you're like, I want super speed. But then, you know what I'm saying? In action, if your ass just was able to run, or as a matter of fact, let's not say super speed, because super speed could mean super healing and super all that type shit. You know what I'm saying? So like your body could heal at the pace that is getting fucked up, right? Let's just say someone says, I want to be able to run super fast. Nigga might be able to run super fast and then a skin fly off his fucking body. You know what I'm saying? Because it didn't help that. But if you got super speed, then you could heal as the skin is flying off your body or some shit, bro. Anyway, what the fuck? Fuck is what I'm talking about? Fuck is what I'm talking about, ain't? You know what I'm saying? But yeah, type shit. You know, to put it in other terms, I ain't play RuneScape. I'm not gonna lie to you. It wasn't really my team.
Who was using AAS, and he had simultaneously ruptured his quadriceps tendon and his unilateral ACL. And that happening is extremely rare, and the highlight of that study was they were theorizing this was due to the androgens basically causing a lack of elasticity. So understanding this a little bit more now, I think it's important to extrapolate all of that information to Conor and what he was likely doing on his time off. Someone who at this point has articles coming out about him using the sauce, and supposedly people even leaking his prescriptions. We haven't seen that publicly, so it could be hearsay, but the fact of the matter is he was very likely using the sauce for about 2 years. Then suddenly jumps back into the testing pool and almost immediately is featured into a huge fight that the world was betting on. And then the first thing that happens once he steps on stage is, he blows his knee, throwing a really exotic kick, trying to, I imagine, create flair, and instantly it backfired. I think it's fair to assume that all of this is connected back to the anabolic androgenic steroid usage. A lack of competence from his medical staff, thinking that steroids would cure his problems and make him better, when directly they could have been the thing that actually impeded his function and his main purpose, being highly flexible, highly mobile, and lightweight. While it may have actually helped heal and remodel bones, the long-term outcome is that it impaired his ability to be a fighter that is dexterous. But at the end of the day, we're all the clowns here, because very likely Conor walked away with approximately $10 million or more. Some places saying $30 million.
Oh no, my camera.
Which, in 30 seconds, he made that much money. I am the idiot. Me. There's a guy named Josh on air that posted about this whole situation, and he says that he had insider information. Whether that's true or not, I'm not so sure. Everywhere that this was posted, it has been removed. Like Reddit, for instance, the moderators from the UFC pages immediately took it down. So that even might lend itself some credit to this statement. But essentially what he says, my UFC credential has already been revoked, so I've got nothing to lose. Here's the truth. Conor and the team informed Dana earlier in the week that he had a knee injury. Dana told them the show must go on. No refunds. Because of the financial implications, McGregor was forced to try. People inside became aware that McGregor was compromised, and that's why the betting line moved significantly prior to the walkouts. But since in excess of 80% of the bets and money legally wagered were on McGregor, this allowed the UFC's sportbook partners to win tens of millions in profit from unsuspecting and uninformed customers. So essentially, they pulled the rug on people. They knew McGregor had an injury, and so what happened just before the fight was everyone moved their bets over to win money without having any other information being spread out about Conor's knee injury. It's pretty fucking pathetic. You know, it's pathetic. It is what it is. It's disgusting. Everything's fake. Nothing's real anymore. Nothing's real. The internet owns us. AI runs everything. We're all nuts. So anyways, that was my video. I hope you enjoyed it, and hopefully...
Yeah, we're getting cooked and we're getting, you know, honestly cracked in every scenario. You know what I'm saying? Elon Musk is a billionaire, a trillionaire now. What the fuck? How you become a trillionaire? You know what I'm saying? There's no ethical billionaires. There is for sure the fuck not no ethical fucking trillionaires. And he fucked over all the American people because the SP 500, whatever the fuck, you know what I'm saying, where people's retirement funds go into so that they can build money in their retirement funds. Now they about to end up buying fucking SpaceX stock, and that stock, it just came, it has no feet to stand on. Honestly, we don't know if it's good, and people are just gonna get the fucking rug pulled under them in that sense as well too. You know what I'm saying? And people have no choice but to buy it because that's where your fucking retirement money's going. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, we're all getting screwed. You just gotta find a way to not get screwed. You know what I'm saying? For the people that found out immediately, like, oh shit, Conor McGregor's knee is fucked up. Fuck it. I'm not gonna lie. I'm doubling down on the other nigga right then and there. Like, what are we talking about? I'm not gonna sit here and lose my money on purpose. But yeah, type shit. People are fucked up. Damn, I fucked up for that. Damn, does that make me like? Damn, that make me one of them. Damn, bro. Anyway, y'all let me know what you guys think about this situation. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell. And if nobody told you today, I love you. Peace.